This is one of the challenges. This is the big challenge CNN has. Prior to the Reagan administration, prior to 1987, CNN or any news network that would be televising a presidential debate would be trying to figure out how to use that debate to best inform the American people so that they can make a reasonable, rational, logical, informed choice when they go to the polls, when they go to vote. Right? I mean, that used to be the mandate of the media. But starting in 1988, as a result of changes that the Reagan administration made to FCC rules, specifically ignoring the Fairness Doctrine, starting in 1988, or late 87, actually, by coincidence, the year that Fox News was launched, actually, it's not a coincidence, but anyhow, starting in 88, the networks no longer had to care about whether we were informed. Their only concern became whether or not they were making money. So Fox and CNN, with regard to the Republican debates, they knew how to make money, put Donald Trump up front. Right? Donald Trump is like the train wreck everybody wants to watch. It's reality TV. So how can they get those kind of ratings for the Democratic debate? Do you do it by actually illuminating the American viewer? Do you think that after this debate, Americans are going to know that Republicans want to cut Social Security and all the Democrats want to expand it? That Republicans want to voucherize Medicare and turn it over to the for-profit health insurance companies, and Democrats want to save Medicare as, a functioning government program? That Republicans want to do away with Medicaid, altogether, and that Democrats want to strengthen Medicaid and expand it into the red states? That Republicans think that there should be no minimum wage at all, or at least if there is, it should stay at $7.25 an hour, and Democrats want to raise it to somewhere between $10 and $15 an hour? That Republicans think that you should not have the right to join a union if 51% of you and your co-workers decide, yes, let's have a union, and the Democrats think that you should be able to have a union? That Republicans think that you should not have the right to know what's in your food if it's genetically modified, and Democrats think you should have the right to know what's in your food? That Republicans think that women, if they want to get an abortion, should be subject to humiliation, to essentially being raped with a transvaginal ultrasound wand, having something shoved into your body without your consent. This is what the Republicans want. This is what Scott Walker put into law. This is what numerous Republicans have put into law all around the country. Or the Democrats think that a woman should be able to make that choice on her own. Gee, she's an adult. What a novel idea. I mean, they used to kind of moderate it by saying with her husband or with her priest, as if, she needs a man to tell her, or her doctor. Increasingly Democrats are just saying, women, come on, women they're just like it's not. Anyway, so do you think that after watching the Democratic debates tonight, Americans are going to know those things? You would be wrong. Because if CNN had any interest in actually informing the American electorate, they would have brought those issues up during the Republican debates. Instead, what they tried to bring up were things that would make Donald Trump go crazy. I'm serious. It was all about creating a train wreck. So what are they going to do tonight? What's CNN going to do tonight? They're sitting right now. Anderson Cooper's already come out and said, hey, I'm a professional and I'm not going to do gotcha questions. And God bless him for saying it. Somebody needed to say something like that. But can he really hold back the forces, the economic forces that own CNN? Can he get the eyeballs he needs without gotcha questions? Or does he have to figure out some way to insinuate that Bernie Sanders is to the left of Hugo Chavez, or just call out the fact that Bernie Sanders has said nice things about Hugo Chavez in the past? Or Daniel Ortega, actually, I think is probably a more appropriate example. I don't think Bernie has been a big Chavez supporter these last few years. But, back in the 80s when he was the mayor of Burlington, he was saying to the Reagan administration, Daniel Ortega was democratically elected. Stop calling him a dictator. And he was right. But anyhow, that's the kind of stuff that I suspect we're going to hear about, with regard to Bernie, with Hillary. They're going to play to the caricature. With Hillary, they're going to play to her flip-flops. Only they don't call them flip-flops anymore. They call them evolution. But can we actually trust you to hold on to these new positions once you become president? I mean, after all, Barack Obama campaigned on a public option and breaking up the big banks. Oh, and there was something else that we talked about yesterday that Obama campaigned on. No, it wasn't same-sex marriage. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, so here are some of the questions. These are 7 tough questions that progressives want to answer to the Democratic presidential debate. Emily Atkin put these together over at the Think Progress blog. Number 1, this is from the daughter of a deceased Sandy Hook Elementary School principal, Dawn Hungsprung. It's from Erica Lafferty Smigliski. What do you think are the 3 top things that the next president needs to do in order to make sure that fewer families have to go through the pain that my family has gone through? Another question, will you engage in aggressive litigation against the fossil fuel industry's denial of climate change like the Clinton administration did against the tobacco industry? That's a huge one.